So how can we get there? That's what you're saying.
Besides cutting people's arms off, how do we get there?
Or bear's arms.
Bear's arms, right.
Do not cut bear's arms off.
So, quote from Scalia, I have to arrive at results that are stupid and even cruel. If 9 lawyers in a room discuss whether the Constitution allows abortion or sodomy, for example, the Constitution becomes an ever-evolving, even living document. These decisions about social issues belong to Congress, the ultimate representation of the will of the people, according to Scalia. Scalia has made it very clear that he thinks right now, well, apparently in 2013, he thinks the Constitution is dead, dead, dead. Previously, Scalia wrote in a dissent to uphold Texas sodomy law because the Constitution didn't specifically give people the right to have gay sex. So sometimes he has to. They say, okay, go to the Constitution, Scalia, and tell me, are we allowed to sodomize each other?
I would say that Scalia would say yes.
Yeah, and he did. He come back and he said, you know what? This is the dumbest thing I've ever had to do. This is ridiculous. This should be left up to Congress, the elected, democratically, not Democrats, but democratically elected Congress to decide for the people. Right. Why are you bringing this to the Supreme Court on whether you could backdoor each other?
Oh, wow. They try to backdoor.
Using trickery.
Right. I mean, I shouldn't say everybody. There's too many people in America today that are looking for a king or queen.
And you know, it's
they
awesome
as Scalia to try to see if he'll make a ruling from up on the throne.
Right.
Scalia, will you please sit in this throne for a minute and just dictate to us what you want done?
So, hey,
like literally.
We were thinking we could turn the economy around if you actually make a ton 1,500 pounds instead of 2,000 pounds.
What do you mean?
Change the number. Change. You get the economy going again. You'll be the savior of the economy.
Because a lot of people say, you mean it's only $500 a ton now when it used to be
right.
It used to be $1,000 a ton. Now it's only $500 a ton.
Right.
But you're getting the same amount.
I know. It's all trickery.
Yeah.
That's what the libs do. They change it all. So check this out. I was on the intranet, the intrawebs, and Washington Post came up with a 2-minute tribute to Scalia, which kind of reveals a couple of things that we've talked about already, but a couple of other things we haven't talked about that you will remember, but you didn't know that he was really connected to it.
Okay.
And there's a couple of points where there's music playing in this video that you can't see. But I'll repeat because I wrote down what it says, the words that it says while it's doing it. So let's listen to this from the Washington Post.
The Constitution tells the current society that it cannot do what it wants to do. That in order to take certain actions, you need the extraordinary effort that it takes to amend the Constitution. If you give them an evolving meaning, so that they have whatever meaning the current society thinks they ought to have, they are no limitation on the current society at all.
Okay.
Well, we talk about that all the time.
Okay. Now, it's shocking to me the Washington Post put this all together. And I don't know if they did it because to attack him or whatever.
No. He's gone, right?
So we could do whatever now.
No. Let's be nice to him. Listen, we gotta make nice with conservatives.
What he just said right there, though, and I had to pause it. I wasn't going to do it, but what he just said there was that if you interpret the Constitution any way you want to interpret it, then there is no limitations to what the people want.
Right.
So give it all to them.
Okay.
Give them abortion on demand. And we were talking about some people say give abortion up to 2 years old because they're not even really up
to 26.
Okay, 26 because they're on the dole.
Right.
I mean, give it. He also went off on. I get this. Okay, never mind. I'll get to that in a minute. But this whole thing that give them whatever they want, just interpret it however you want, just to please the masses. That is scary stuff.
Right, and he's saying that you shouldn't do that.
Correct.
Right.
Okay. Get back to it.
I mean, it means nothing except to thine own self be true.
Associate Justice Antonin Scalia is also a brilliant judge.
1996.
I can think of no two better public servants to continue that work than Chief Justice Rehnquist and Justice Scalia. You both have our nation's heartfelt wishes for success and happiness.
He was known for fiery dissents rather than landmark major opinions. He played a prominent role in the 2000 Bush v. Gore.
My court owe no apology whatever for Bush versus Gore. We did the right thing, so there.
Literally.
People say that decision was not based on judicial philosophy, but on politics.
I say nonsense.
Was it political?
Gee, I really don't want to get in. Get over it. It's so old by now.
He's telling 60 Minutes that. So he graduated first class from St. Francis Xavier. He attended Georgetown University, where he was the valedictorian in the class of 57. He graduated magna cum laude from Harvard Law in 1960.
I've criticized the opinions of some of my colleagues, and we have remained friends.
You have 9 children, I believe you have 8 of them here, don't you?
I think all 9 are here, Senator. I think we have a full committee. My wife, Maureen, is at the right in the front row. Next to her is Meg. Her real name is Margaret, but she said I should introduce her as Meg because when she's called Margaret, she's usually in trouble. Catherine, Christopher, Matthew, and in the next row from the other end, Mary, Anne, my oldest, Eugene, John, Paul, and that's it.
9 children.
They should nominate all 9 of his children for the Supreme Court seats, all 9 of them.
Right. He was the court's most prominent proponent of constitutional originalism. Quote, originalism.
What is that? Okay, that's great.
It's sad that they have to call it originalism.
That means that there's something other, there's like a different way of interpreting the Constitution other than what they are calling originalism.
Right.
Like, oh, well, I'm not an originalist. I like to define my own Constitution. I mean, literally. Oh, my gosh.
He was an outspoken opponent of abortion and affirmative action, as well as the so-called, and he quotes it, the so-called homosexual agenda. And then, obviously, like you heard, he played a very prominent part in Bush v. Gore.
Let's stop that real quick. This is critical.
The thing during Bush v. Gore, they took it all the way to Gore took it all the way to Supreme Court because he wanted a recount of a recount of a recount hanging chats.
He just wanted to keep going until he won, kind of like Stuart Smalley up there in Minnesota.
Correct.
Or Wisconsin or wherever the heck he's from. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, the comedian.
Yeah. He plays Stuart. I don't know. I can't never. For some reason, I can never remember his real name.
Well, he cheated.
He plays Stuart Smalley on Saturday Night Live.
Right. He criminally was elected illegally due to the fact that
he lost.
He lost,
and he went back and he pulled a Hillary Clinton, I love to win 6 coin flips in a row.
Right.
Came back and said, we got it all now. Now that we've won, this stands.
Yeah, because we need the justices to rule for me because they're in my pocket with me. Not Supreme Court, the state.
Which, by the way, that's how we would have had a President Gore had Scalia died back then and been replaced by a Clinton appointee.
Could you imagine Gore being president?
Well, it would have been bad, but here's what's really scary. The wrong guy would have been in office for 4 years.
Right.
And you know what? Everybody would have took it in the by the back end.
Right. So Scalia said, enough is enough. This is done. It is over. The people have spoken. Bush won.
I don't like the way he answered that, though, because he made it sound like, well, maybe it was political. But you know what? I don't care whether you think it was political or not. And I don't care if it really was political or not. It's my decision. And if I want to be political, then I'll be political. That's the way he made it sound. In reality,
I think he was so irritated.
Yeah.
Because
he's not political.
Because back then, They were literally everybody. It's like Hillary. It's like if it was
the
Hillary.
world stopped.
Yes,
America stopped for. I'm not kidding. I was 25 years old at the time, and I remember everything stopped. What's going to happen? What is the next chapter in the dramatic saga of? We went into January not really knowing for sure who our next president was going to be.
Right.
The elections were at the beginning of November. By January, everybody's like, is somebody going to get sworn in? We may go months and months without a president. And should Bill Clinton remain at the helm until we figure this out? I mean, it was a complete debacle. I think that people who weren't alive or were too young to remember will never really grasp this, just how big of a problem that was. That was a
nightmare.
Crisis.
Yes. Well, and I think that going on, keeping Bush from taking office, assuming position. I mean, I know September 11th happened, 9
months later.
Yeah, 9 months later, but man, just to have that just hanging in the balance, not knowing. What a mess.
Right.
So he put an end to that mess, which was really nice.
Ted Cruz just texted me.
Okay.
He said he won the debate last night.
Well, did you hear that? Did you see Matt Drudge's poll?
No. What did he put up?
Matt Drudge takes this what they call like a straw poll. So you go on the Drudge report, and you can take the poll number. You click on it and poll. 305,700 people took this poll.
That's a big number. However, these would be people that would go to the Drudge report. These aren't just average, totally random, anybody.
Correct.
These are people that go to Matt Drudge.
Correct.
Okay.
And not necessarily voters.
Yeah, it could be like the troll that's in high school.
Or it could be a 10-year-old kid. 11-year-old
so not even
kid.
In high school.
No.
Just somebody just trolling.
Right,
okay.
Trolling. It could very well be. However, it's shocking. It's just shocking, the numbers.
What's so shocking about it? And what are they?
Carson is at 2.5%.
Ooh, man, he had a huge fall from grace. I was really hoping that he would come back because
I'd love to have seen him as VP or something.
So what if he doesn't have energy? Do you really think he's actually falling asleep? No, it's just his delivery.
Right.
It's not like if you're worried that somebody's going to be pounding on the door of the Oval Office, open it up and catch him sleeping, you're a moron.
Right.
He's not going to do that.
However, he is not going to host Coast to Coast.
I don't know if that guy sleeps.
I'm just saying Carson might fall asleep if he hosts Coast to Coast for 5 hours in the night.
Why would he fall asleep then?
Because
it's the middle of the night?
Right.
I don't know. Ben Carson would do surgeries for like 20 hours on a brain and have to stay up the whole time.
A baby's brain.
An infant.
Child.
He was saving aborted children.
Mush brains. Oh, no, he was. Oh, yeah. Well, not only that, but he was doing surgery on babies in the mother's womb.
I didn't even know that was possible.
The baby, or fetus if you're a lefty, is in the mother's womb, inside her body. He goes in there to do surgery on the baby.
So, and you know what? I'm now remembering some of his awesome answers during the first couple debates that actually helped him launch into like the lead at one point.
Yeah, he held the lead over Trump at one point.
Okay.
He's the only one. Only one who's held
now
the
that
lead.
we're talking about it, I'm just brainstorming really quick on what caused him to fall down. Here's what it was. All the comedians and whatnots, pundits, people talking about everybody in the campaign or in the election cycle, they all said the same thing about him. It's like he's going to fall asleep on you. He's got low energy and all that. So that after all of that rumbling happened, the whole, look at him, you think he's going to fall asleep. The very next debate and the very next several interviews, it looked like he got worse. Normally when you get criticized like that,
you step it up.
You're like, oh man, I better show up at these things and I better look like I have some caffeine.
Right.
Somebody give me a line of cocaine.
Right, and instead they gave him Nitol.
I don't know what.
Because it helps you catch your Z's.
Yes.
That was a
he was
paid
catching a lot
spot by Night Talk.